How's it going, guys? In today's video I'm going to be talking about a previous video that I'd done that was posted in April 2018, and I've been wanting to do like a reaction video to this for a while now and actually show some other samples of what that video entailed. So let's get into it. Alright, so the reason I'm doing this video mainly is because the comment section has been crazy. There's been a lot of people posting some very false statements saying that this is life-threatening and yada yada yada. Even recently a guy said that this isn't a safety concern until that bracket you have falls off the vehicle, a motorcyclist hits it at high speed and he dies. So I've got a great laugh out of the comments. I do enjoy them, but at the same time it can be very confusing for people how this method is applied. The other thing is, people were saying that they didn't show the bolt starting, and I appreciate that. I didn't. The space I was using was way too tight and my camera couldn't fit into that spot to actually film down into that area to show it starting. So that is the reason why I wanted to show it. I also want to show the bolt coming out because people were saying that it was going to break. The bolt will not break, and I can show you that as well. If you apply this method right, use common sense, use logic. If you can tap it, tap it. If you have time to go to the links to remove parts, components, whatever, go ahead and do that. This was just used as a stopgap if you need be. Heat shields, brackets, where you'd be routing cabling, all of them things, great method for that. Resecures pieces in place and not a problem. Right, so what I'll be using is my hacksaw again that I demonstrated on the last video. This is what you could also use, but I have these. This is an air cutoff tool, 3.5 inch air cutoff tool. But I wanted to use a hacksaw because everybody has a hacksaw. Not everybody has electric tool like this or an air compressor to hook it up to, so it made more sense to use a hacksaw. Object number one that I will be doing this test on is an exhaust manifold, and these 3 bolts here are for the heat shield on that. So this is a prime example of where this could be used. Now the threads are good, they're rusted on this, but all of these methods here I'm going to be forcibly damaging the thread, and then I'm going to be showing you the bolt going in. So I'm going to reset this up now and just start to do these demos. So before I start it, I just want to give you a very close up of the threads. They're in good condition, perfect condition. And I'm going to forcibly damage that thread now on the top side, and I'm going to show you the bolt refusing to go in, and then I'm going to show you the tip and show you how it can go in and be removed after that. Okay, so to show you first, this is the one I'm going to be using. This is a bolt. Winds in perfectly, no issue at all. And I'm going to get a punch and I'm going to damage the top side threads on that and go from there. So I'm just going to use a punch and damage the top side of that thread. Probably damaged a bit too much there. Alright, so I'm just giving you an example there. So as you can see, the thread is now badly damaged on the top side, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the bolt and how restricted it would be if I go to put that in. So that's the common thing where it just jams. Now when that happens, you could try and forcibly go past it with your whatever 1/4 inch drive or 3/8 and try and get it past that. But in this circumstance, I'm not going to try and do that. I'm going to try and clean up the threads a bit And I'm going to cut this bolt, as you can see. Let me see. And you can see there where the top side of the thread is starting to get burred now as well. So basically what I'm going to do now is cut the top of this and run it in and see how we go. Okay, so I just put some transmission fluid on that now and I'm going to cut it. So we have it set up there. I just put a little bit on this side as well. So you always want to try and start it straight, just to where it gets tight. Now you can do this two ways. You can run this in and out with a ratchet so that you're comfortable, you know the tightness, you can back it up, know the tightness, back it up. For speed for this video, I'm just going to use my impact tool. So as you could see, I was able to run that in and out, no problem, multiple times. What I'm using is a 3/8 impact, so it is 105 Newton meters every time I tighten that down. As you can see that there's no issues whatsoever with that. You can tighten it down and I'll just bring you over and show you the threads. And as you can see, the threads are in much better shape. They've cut into them and you can run that in and out no problem and there won't be any issue with that. It's you're able to put it in nice and simple there. I can tighten it all the way in. That's just the first one. I'm going to show you a couple of more examples of how you can do this with bigger bolts and different materials as well. So let's get into that. Item number 2 that I'm going to do this on is a bonnet. Had a damaged bonnet out the back and I'm just going to go to the bonnet hinges here. Found a bolt that is suitable, which is a bigger bolt than what I demonstrated on the last time. Let's have a look. And as you can see, the top side thread there is badly damaged on the first 3 threads, I believe it is. And I'm going to go ahead now and do the exact same method with that bolt and see if that will wind in and out of here with no issue either. Alright, so we got the bolt here and it's cut. This might be a bit more difficult because I did damage that top side quite badly. You always have to make sure that you're starting it straight no matter what happens. If it's trying to force its way, this one's trying to force its way left. If it's trying to force its way right, you always have to keep force down. And even when you just get to that tension, as long as it's straight, you've got a great chance. So this one is trying to push left on me, but I'm just forcing it to stay central, and now it's locked. And I'm going to wind this down here again. Just going to set the camera up for you so you can see the impact going in and out. Again, like I said, you can use a ratchet to do this very slowly. It's much safer, but I just want to speed this up for these demos. And as you can see, there's no issue whatsoever with the thread on that bolt. It's wound in and out no problem, and I'll just show you here that you can wind it in and out by hand.
with no problem at all. And I'll give you a view on the bonnet as well. And as you can see there, it cleans them up as good as possible. You get so much of the thread back again, and you're able to bypass that no problem and get the bolt in and out. Like, as you can see, it's as free as a bird. It goes down with no restriction whatsoever. I can gun that down beyond what it should be tightened to. I can even get a bigger bar, put that on, tighten it, no problem, and it'll wind straight back out again. So the concern with the bolt breaking, this snap and all that, complete nonsense. If it's done right, the bolt will go in and out with no problem. I have never once seen a bolt to break. I've never seen a lug to break off it. I've never seen a thread to pull away. I've never seen any damage. So the third and final item I'm going to be working on is a damaged engine that I just removed the other day, and we have a water pump area here. So this is a softer material, aluminium head. And we're going to damage the threads in this lastly. So you've got two examples. You've got an exhaust manifold, you've got a bonnet, and now you're going to have a water pump as well. Like I said earlier, I'm not recommending you use this technique in these particular items. I always recommend that you retap when possible, but I'll just show you the effectiveness of this and the amount of tension you can get on it and the amount of cleaning up you can do on the threads as well. Alright, so I went next level on this one. I damaged over here, I damaged down here, I also damaged the front threads on this side as well. You can even see the markings of the punch where I leaned it down, and I got the bolt here. And it doesn't want to start. A view on that. Alright, so it doesn't even want to start, which is a perfect example. We have it badly enough damaged now where the bolt doesn't even want to grip into it, and you have a high risk of damage. If you were to continue just trying to force that through, you could easily cross thread the whole lot of it. So it's getting stuck at the very first twist of it. Alright, so with the bolt slots in it, I've only gone down a very little bit on this one. You're trying to get it to start. So you have to be very cautious in the initial start on it. Want to line it up correctly. Okay. And back it out a little bit, wind it in, back it out. And as you can see, it's cleaned up them threads pretty well. Remember, it's just the outer parts that got damaged, so you have all the threads still on the inside. and your main concern is to get the bolt run in and out, which, as you can see, there's no cross threading there, there's no damage further down. It all goes in nice and freely again. And you can torque that down to the spec and not have any issue.
So that is it, guys. 3 different types of jobs, same method applied to them all successfully. In every single one of them it was used. Remember, you could also change the bolt once you ran it in and out a few times, no problem at all. You could put a nut on the inside of the bolt and run it up and down if you wanted to as well. But the fact that it's just a single cut through, you don't have to put the nut on it. If you were cutting the bolt in half, I would always put the nut on the inside, and that makes it easier to run out. But the fact that it's just a slit, you already have that taper on the bolt to start it off. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope that clears up a whole lot of the theories that was out there. I showed you from start to finish each one of them, running them in, damaging the threads, running them out. So all those theories that were placed up in the comment section, I hope I've quashed quite a few of those. Alright, and that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you haven't, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.